Tuh minta izin. Hello. Thank you for watching Melky here, and I'm just trying to do something because I think uh, I think this is um, uh, there's something outside. Sorry about that. I think someone is coming. Oh no. Okay. All right. Um, so I find myself thinking a lot, and a whole day I've spent just thinking and thinking and thinking. Not really, like, of course I went out as well. Today is a holiday, and I think this is a special holiday for the Muslim people. um so I don't have an audience right now. I don't feel like sending my regards because it wouldn't be genuine, because it's just not. I'm not in that mindset for now. I haven't. If I meet somebody, then I would probably greet them, but no one is here, so I'm kind of pissed about that as well. I want to have a little audience or something. No, I want to have a lot of audience. I want to have a diversified audience. I don't want a specific group that I would have to follow, but that's not just probably not how the world works. But I don't know. So how's world? How's world? Hopefully in the future, some aliens going to watch this. Like, this is 20, not 20. Like, this is the year 20,050, and somebody's like, you know what? Let's pick something at random from the past, and they got my video, right? And they will be my first audience, and they're like, oh, look at this ugly ancestor, right? And, and I'm like, what? Who do you call ugly, you little fledglings? I don't know. Probably they would look like a lot of they would look a lot like stem cells. So they're like very very baby faced, but also not pretty. They're like worms with organs. What would their organs be? They probably would have half of a nose, so there is only one hole in the nose, and then two mouths or something like that. And they genetically modify themselves. Yeah, for you, cheers, and also STFU. Sorry. Okay, so now I know I like to talk there, not talk dirty, like talking rude and bad language. Okay, I'm not gonna explain why, but I could in my day to day. That is not my habit, but in my in my allegiance, right? I think now is the time that people should talk profanity all the time. But I've been doing it for like years, on and off. Like, sometimes I become a person like that, sometimes I'm not. I think I have to dial it down a little bit recently, especially when I have read YouTube terms and conditions. I think the word shit probably is okay, but the word maybe not okay. Should I show you the text? Because it's talking about the community guidelines. All right, it's talking about explicit language related to sexual matters. I'm paraphrasing. That is prohibited. So I want to respect YouTube in that sense. But I'm also happy that YouTube is still, being pretty liberal with that, with language and freedom of speech. I think we should guard that in the world, because it could easily be going us to the hypocrite manner. You know that I think you know what I think. Let's segue into the gay part for a bit. I think there's benefit for politicians to ban gayness, especially for gay politician, right? They don't want their constituents to perceive them as gay, so they want to have power over their boyfriends maybe, because girls are like okay with it. I assume girls are more, they don't really care about that. Boys care more about that. Like gay males, they probably would care more about that, and they would like, yo, you don't talk about this or you going to jail. So 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 I think there's a, how did I I why is that make sense? Why is it, why is profanity okay? So freedom of speech, I think politicians dislike people with freedom of speech. It's not that uh, freedom of speech is rude, freedom of speech is unpleasant or harmful or traumatic. No, it's because politicians couldn't handle freedom of speech, and that's why they ban profanities and everything just to assert power. Because the right direction is actually being okay, being desensitized with that. Okay, you can tell as well when people are using it in a harmful manner. There's a difference, and people using it in a friendly manner. If you have been desensitized with profanity, when people use it harmfully, you can keep your calm more, don't you think? That's one benefit to it. And when people use it casually, you can take it well. And it's more dangerous, I think, if you live in a society where people don't do that, and suddenly some people do that, it would be very sensitive, and it could cause a lot of problems. And I saw a group of I've been with some, I know different kinds of people, right? And I feel a lot better when I'm around people who just throw profanities out of thin air, right? And they're so smart about it, and they're funny. I should improve myself in the art of talking shit, right? Because I admire these people. I want to improve to be like these masters, and I am still not too good at it. Yeah, and like this art is going to become banned, and uh, maybe some politicians actually is like, yo, I like to talk shit, but I don't want people to perceive me all as shit talker. That would affect my political career. So talking shit is now banned. It's exclusive only to me with my friends, so that I would be the only shit talker in the world, and somehow I would be like accepted into the gay powerful people, who's exclusive gay people. I don't. I think that's what's happening in a hypocritical persecutors universe. That which, thankfully, I have escaped. Like my country has escaped that a little bit. There's still a risk that we should always work on to prevent that from going to that direction, which is probably hell. So I'm serious in that part. I'm serious. That's crazy, because if you remember, I don't know if you've been from that kind of situation as well, you don't want to go back. It just, God forbid that we would go back into that kind of place. That is insane place. There's such a stupid era. It's like a politicians have a grab hold on people's intelligence, therefore dragging everybody down. And then now they are also becoming stupid with their sense of smartness bloated and inflated by their ass lickers. And that's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you too. I don't mean it like that. I mean, I'm not mean it in a sexual manner. Okay. Whew, yeah, that was nuts. Whew, that was crazy. That was not crazy. Crazy is kind of nice. That's so bleak. I don't know, dire. I don't know what to say, man. You should, the people who experience it, I guess, would understand. If you haven't experienced it, you probably should appreciate it more, and attack this politician who is trying to go there. Guys, I'm serious. These people are power hungry monsters. They are psychos. Okay. And then, um, what else did I wanted to say? Yeah, just hang around. Now people are doing fireworks outside. That is a nice thing. Growing up as a Christian, I sometimes don't like the rituals that they do at church, and I got fed every week. I have to go there, even though I don't enjoy it. And I think if and when I'm not now, I think, you know what? If you don't enjoy it, you should go away. I know in the Bible it says you should always not go away from um, your community, but there are multiple ways you could connect with other people, with other Christians. If you feel like you're faking it while doing these rituals, it's like when Jesus said, uh, if you are about to sacrifice your sacrifice at the temple, and you remember there's something in your brother's heart about you, there's a problem between your relationship, there's no point in sacrificing your sacrifices. It's not, you've missing the point. The point is, you go mend that relationship first, and then you go to the temple and do your sacrifice. I think it's a similar thing when we perform our rituals. We get, our God is the spirit of truth, right? You got to be genuine, dude. You go to the church to be honest. Don't act up like being dishonest. What are you doing? uh, and I think in other religion, right, this is just my analysis, right? Other people would be mad at me probably, but they do have things like that as well in their own religion, but they're narcissistic about it. They're like, oh, other religion are inferior, and like we're doing it for God, and God kind of prescribed it, and that means they're superior in ways that these other people don't understand. But what if, over time you don't see it? You actually, if you ask yourself honestly, you're like, why am I actually not really that different? Why can't I perform miracles? Why cannot I fly to the sky at will? I have already done all of this boring stuff, this grueling stuff, this menial, because you repeat it over and over again, right? Not only I'm talking about, yes, like it feels like I'm talking about Muslims only, especially this is the event, but no, other religions as well, right? I think there's an inclination, guys, where all of these devoted people kind of would want to prove themselves, right? And they want to make sense of it. And what would they do? Like they would challenge the other religion. Now, I hope the way they challenge the other religion is through discussion and debate. That is a little bit more scientific, and that's nice. But if they feel like, oh, I'm gonna prove that you are inferior in a way, there's got to be an inferiority here, right? It's like inside here, and you're like, and you deal with them, right? And you see that you know what it is, and you see that you're like, oh fuck, I can't do anything about it. And it's frustrating, bro. uh, but I think it's like for me that exists too, right? Gotta be, because I'm also religious, and other people would see something religious in me that they don't like, and other people would see other people. Eventually the conclusion is, like, the beauty of the formula is that we're all shit. We're all shit. Can you hear it from here? Did my device pick up the voices? Yeah. I like it. Like, I like the way, because I think, because um you hear the sound of people are, when they perform their religious activities, you always hear them. You can somehow hear them, especially if you, like, for example, I go to the church and I see my neighbors, right? Every week, every Sunday, they have to put up with the noises from our church, right? And we kind of could blast the speaker full force, because sometimes there are a lot of people are coming. I feel like, yo, this neighbor, they listen to it every day. They probably didn't go to this church. I know some of them didn't go to this church. And I'm like, yo, every Sunday they can't sleep. uh yeah, but yo, uh, they're like, yo, every once in a while, please change the song. You always sing the same song. They probably say like that, think something like that. Yeah, I think the same way with me, like, I feel bad, kind of feel bad that they always, like, have the same theme over and over again. I think this special celebration is something different and something new. It's pretty refreshing to experience it even from here. And I've gotten used to it. I think there's utility in the religious exposures, right? it's it's it is it gives you, like, when people don't read the law, right? A society that don't read the law, they're a little bit clueless, right? They're a little bit more confused. With this kind of religious exposure, we can have some kind of orientation or common grounds on of what the standard of morality, what people, uh, I guess, acknowledge. That's not a bad thing, and that's quite a utility. And nowadays, with algorithm, everyone has their own thing in the social media. You kind of missed out on that, knowing what other people are watching, right? In the past, when the time of TV, the time of radio, a lot of people are watching the same thing, a lot of people are listening to the same thing. And, like, with this algorithm that is so personalized, we don't really know the people around us, what people around us are exposed to. um, yeah, and it's like, it's having a common ground is a luxury that only enjoyed by marketing people in Google or in Facebook or something, or maybe in data brokers as well. Of course, in data brokers as well. and they would know what people are watching, and they could relate to everybody right now the way I used to be able to relate to the people of the whole town in my town. But now I'm not able to, and they are able to. And now I'm like, uh, I lost that ego because it's just not real anymore. I had that ego with me in the past, but now I have to put it on in the closet because it's not real anymore. That ego. Uh, uh, it's a problem, right? I don't like it when I just present a problem without a solution. I'm a solution maker, bro. I should have like think about how. Like Sir Tim Berners-Lee have an idea of creating a pod. Check out InRub solution. That is a good way of doing it. That we can have our own communities with our own pods, with our own uh, connections, and knowing what we share with each other, what we are exposed to, and we make our own I don't know, conclusion, derivation, uh, you know, it is a solution, bro. You got to check it out. But a lot of people don't know. A lot of people are not exposed to it. You should check it out. The same thing, like, oh, we shouldn't have used Microsoft Office for 10 years straight. Now all the people use Microsoft Office, and they are a private company. We cannot, if we use like other brands, like, is there a Mozilla Office or GNU GPL Office or whatever? Like, a lot of people are not using it, and when we send our files to other people, they wouldn't be able to open it properly. If it's a complicated file, Word, probably you would need them to be in place, and then when you open it, when other people open it, they'll be offended because they thought, oh, you didn't do it with care. So everyone has to get like freaking all of them have to get Microsoft Office, and now we thought, shouldn't have done that. Should have used Google every once in a while. Google spreadsheet, Google Words, Google, what is it called? Google Writer, Google, what is it? Oh, so it escapes my mind. Yeah, guys, you should have used Google Office more and more, and maybe some other brands as well, because this open source extension or open source like compilation extension, what is it called? Um Standard. It is a good standard that everyone could relate to, but it is underused, and it's not it is the answer to a lot of our problems, but it's not used because everyone uses proprietary software. The same thing. What was it again that I think there's a point in me doing this, saying this about Microsoft. Oh man, i'm I'm too far off the topic. um I forgot, bro. Let's talk about something else. If I try to remember it all the time, it's not. It's gonna be a waste of time. Oh, you have you tried giving formula to white bread? So formula milk, like the powder formula milk. So it's a nice Nutella alternative. But if there's a doctor that could, point out whether it is a good idea or it is much unhealthier than regular jams or spreads, please let me know because I don't know whether that is good idea health wise. But in terms of taste, it's not bad. It's not bad. Baby formula and white bread. Or even if it's not a baby formula, just milk formula and white bread. Yeah. And you want I like it. I like it that it kind of sedimentize. Is that the word? It makes a sediment inside different spots in my mouth so that it's dirty. So like I have to clean it. But when I clean it, it got eroded partially, and now it feels good again. It feels delicious. It gives a delicious sensation again. So this dirt is a delicious dirt, and like, oh yeah, yeah, like yeah, something like that. So I put a lot of it rather than nom, 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 something like that. But nowadays formulas could be too sweet, and that would taste disgusting. I guess you find the formula that is not too sweet, that has a lot of substance and less sugar, right? Oh, that one is like yum, 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 yum. So how are you doing? Should I watch a video with you? I'm gonna try to make sure that um it's okay to watch. Let me try to let me try to how about an opinion piece? Let's try to watch an opinion piece and make a review about that. Let me try to find opinion piece history that I've watched. Uh, I mean, it's very political. Okay, guys. Uh, no, 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 not this one. I'm sorry, guys. So sorry. Now you're sleepy. The the thing is, right, guys. Recently, I watch a lot of shorts, so I become more short attention span. And some of these videos, I only watch like seconds of it, and then I already clicked away. So I haven't really censored it. Yo, I'm sorry, guys. This is quite disappointing. Uh, let, let me try to find something in the past. Something is far away in the past. Okay, so how about an investment stuff? Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All right, guys. So his name would be. Wait, let me post his video first of all. Um, it's talking about house, right? And uh, if you haven't heard, there are very cheap property, amazingly cheap property in Japan, and that's what this video is about. Let me post this one first. This is the link to the video, and let me try to find the link to his channel. Yeah, guys. Okay, I don't want to ruin his video. Sometimes it does that. Sometimes, sorry about that. Dark. But there are, if you apart from the ticket money or the agency price, there are some tax related stuff that you would want to know. Um, and I think that makes sense. I am not against that at all. We're talking about police, we're talking about countries' diplomacy, we're talking about firefighters, municipalities, services. Every country is being maintained by their government and they would want money, and it's not evil. It's absolutely not evil. So you got to understand this. So yeah, the property price may be very good, but have they included the deal with these people or not, and how can you make it better, how can it fits you, and probably you can bring something to the table that other people could not, that would probably be considered as eligible, as acceptable in Japan maybe, but that's probably not going to be talked about. He has his own thing. See, guys, it's 90 days. All right. It's not just one day. You go click online and then you get it. No, it's 90 days. And this is with an agent that is confident enough to be on YouTube like this. It has a lot of viewers. It's pretty popular. Anime. It's anime. All right. So in my country, I don't feel like talking about where my country is, but it is foundable. Yes, housing prices is quite high, and it is very good that you are connected with agents, with property agents and banks. It is like the big businesses. That's the gate to big biz to what to one of the most important and the most expensive concern in your business world, or in your financial personal business. Right, this is weird, right? This I think Tokyo in particular experienced the same. But from what I watch but his particular video, I'm sourcing it from him. A lot the other parts not necessarily true. Other parts of Japan wouldn't experience that. I mean, albeit in a lot of other places as well, maybe the villages or the outskirts wouldn't experience the same condition. M- all main cities would experience the inflation of property prices. Okay. But I'm just going to say, yeah, I think that makes sense and that's relatable. And I think, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think this is related to the standard that they impose on. Like, for example, if you live in a country that impose the age of your car, there's a limit to the age of your car. It values the value of your car is going to be recorded as dropping pretty quickly. But in in a country where you can find a lot of old cars running around, blowing black smokes everywhere, and it's okay, you wouldn't see that in the financial statement. The like maybe if they would make a personal financial statement, they would say, "Oh, my car is still worth something," while in a different country, their car is already going to be recorded as worthless. All right. So that's the caveat there. I think there's not a lot of difference. Buildings are buildings, physics are physics, but it's a law thing. All right, wait a minute. There's a caveat in this, okay? You're gonna see later. It is not really that cheap. It is not really that cheap. Like for example, the tax. I think there's still value, but what I don't get it, and what I see from what my search online, it seems like some Japanese really abandoned their house. So I don't know what's the reason behind that. Oh yeah, and also, if I'm not mistaken, I get it from a different video. I forgot who made it. I'm sorry about that. Maybe really okay. There is a earthquake standard, guys. So if you have a house that can be shaken by earthquakes significantly, maybe there's a ban on living inside that house. But I could be wrong about this. I could be wrong about this. You gotta check, and that's why it's pretty worthless. And you have to renovate the place if it comes to that point. But really, like houses in Japan, not built in relation to that, that's a shady house. Ah, wow, wow, wow. Yo, I think Japanese are smart. They are so smart. But I think there's a way of improving the whole thing, right? Don't just give property debt to just about anybody. There's got to be a bonus, right? Check your GDP. What's the biggest contribution margin to the GDP? And I know GDP is not perfect. What's the perfect version of it? Whatever that is. Let's talk about GDP right now. What's the contribution margin of this GDP? What's the contribution margin over time? The past 5 years, the past 10 years, and you would want to be more selective to those contributors. Hope you get a very good job because you make videos that's so nice, guy. Thank you, thank you. So this is the thing with the multi-billionaires of the world. They are worth billions from their asset. So yeah, of course they would have a lot of cash. But if you want to say, yo, give me 1 billion right now, give me 2 billions right now, freaking 2 billions, give me 10 billions right now, right? They probably wouldn't have the immediate money. The same thing with us, right? We may have a lot of value in our property. We can say that we are rich, but like the freedom is in the liquidity, of course. That's what he's talking about. Okay, at this point, I think you guys should watch this video. I'm not going to go for further. This is so cool. All right, go and watch this video. I already put the link in the description. And let's do something else. I don't know what it is. I don't know what am I going to harass next time because dogs are victims. Roof, roof, they say. Scratch me. But then after a while, you're the one who's enjoying it. What else? What else? I do have a blog. Do you want to see the blog? Do you want to see my blog, aliens? You're aliens right now. You're not human. By the time you're watching this, I probably am a very, very old bionic being. Okay, and I would have transcended through a true different dimension, and you wouldn't be able to find me, maybe. So this is my letter to. I, I could probably visit you in the form of an ethereal agent, which is like only to collect money from you because you owe me royalties for so many years. But let's read my blogs. My blog posts. My grammar sucks. Don't write it in history. Just off record, okay? Just off record. Okay, got it. And now I am going to find. Oh man, Sorry about that. I gotta do something else. Gotta do some more preparation. All right. I gotta check. I gotta close this part and then um, go here. Oh no! Where is? Guys, please be patient with me. Yo, what happened? What happened to my blog? Right. So this is the site. Yeah, and let's see what I have said, and if there's something stupid that I've said, let's do 2020. I got 59 posts in 2020. I've always been to 2020, right? It's so boring anyway. This is the question: is prioritizing justice always in align with prioritizing the truth? I found the yes answer, and it is going to be quite a bit of an answer. Firstly, you could observe truthfully an event, like when a person is telling a lie. You could observe truthfully when a person decided not to say anything. You could observe truthfully when a person is saying the truth. The truth is more than your speech. However, the truth has the room to grow. From my point of view, the truth is the protocol that everything follows, that there is only one true path. Oh, so this is my previous definition. The definition has changed, right? I couldn't really ascertain that there's only one true path. It's like I couldn't really ascertain that that is the definition, because if the reality works like Sudoku, right? And sometimes in Sudoku you can have like multiple answers, and they both would be correct, right? Would it apply in the universe as well? All right. So the new definition would be: the truth is that the logic of the truth can trace back the truthful past. So what is the truth? You got to define the truth. The truth is the logic of the truth can be used to define to get to the truthful past. If you use the logic of the truth, you will get the past that is truthful. Okay, what is the truth? The truth is the logic of the truthful logic could lead to the truthful past. All right, what is the truth? That all right? That makes sense. I guess for some mathematician it should make sense, because the truth is the truth, guys. All right. The truth is the truth, and everyone probably would have their own definition, but I would imagine that they would all, if you cannot relate, if you don't have common sense of what the truth is, like that is the basic of reality. What are you talking about? Okay. No, I'm just kidding. You could define the truth. I mean, if you're a very good philosopher, I don't know, guys. I'm just going to the point of relatabilityness. What do you think? Okay, continuing on. So when you believe in lies, the wrong perception of yours would be a gift or a fragrant present for the truth when they are being truthfully corrected. Okay, yeah, so it's like a sacrifice in the temple. However, since there is also momentum of wrongness, one wrong leads to another in one way or the other. Oh, it is also bad. Injustice is also disgusting. So be careful. So believing you gotta be, you should not be, yeah, you should not be an evil person that you would do things on purpose. Okay, but correcting yourself is already a lot. Okay, there's a lot of mistakes to correct, so you're not gonna run out of it. Okay, I think I don't know what I think, like, people would relate to that. Is it right or is it wrong? I don't know. You know what, I should correct myself. So believing in lies is dangerous, and it is unattractive for those who are predetermined to dislike some of the particular problems associated with it. To predetermine to dislike some of the particular problems. Yeah, I mean, you would look repulsive. Like the moment a person like that is predisposed to dislike that, see that in you, they would automatically dislike you. Like it's their intuition. But faith indeed is the reason for universal war. Humans and spirits, they are attracted to faith and fighting over it. The truth wants you to believe in him, and the anti truth wants you to not. For inanimate objects, the manifestation of it is the quantum state. For observation would determine one's truthful positions or roles, while the quantum state enriches the exploration. What is this poetry that I don't understand? Then we know that the truth leads to more questions, ideas, and ambitions. The discovery of the truth create. I'm not. It wasn't a compliment. Okay, the discovery of the truth creates more spaces for the truth to explore. Well, probably a little bit. When one is being agnostic, one is being neutrally attractive, meaning generally attractive. A popular sense of attractiveness. Oh, so if you're being like in a quantum state, you're like, okay, I'm not sure. That is interesting. That is interesting because you are curious. You're being curious. You're gonna explore. You're gonna go on an adventure. Isn't that interesting? Well, that is if I am right. But just keeping the question on without trying to solve it will attract reasons to believe in lies. So that is not attractive. So when you're like, I'm ignorant, that is not attractive. Ignorance, like the attitude for ignorance could be unattractive, but it could also be smart. um, lies could be believed subconsciously, and that side if you were exposed it's likely to be ugly. Incompetence also comes with it, so maybe it could help with women who are wondering, you know what, I'm already so pretty, but why people get the ick? What is this ick? And I'm trying to kind of articulate it, but I don't think this is 100%, right? But this is partially. You know what? Maybe because ultimately, truth and lies, it's the ultimate war. So, in relation to justice, justice wants to make everyone able to access whether it is that they wanted and needed whenever they do. Justice wants to make sure the availability of what is desirable and useful all the way in the future forever. Uh, sometimes telling lies could prevent deadly crippling events. When situations unfold, people wouldn't always have the intelligence to figure out the truthful solutions at the moment. Personally, when tragedies were avoided, they were all steps towards justice. But the preservation of lies prevents truthful problem solving in the long run. So that's also could be unattractive, even though that there's this sentiment that people are like, you know what, that I need more rewards for that. Like I actually averted a calamity. Like why am I not getting the rewards that I got for lie or for the solution, even though the solution contains a little bit of lie? Why am I not being rewarded? So that probably would that saltiness, you know, you would like that person would kind of preserve, and that could cause trouble because of that bitterness, not saltiness, bitterness. And for the truth is the winner. And for the sake of sustainability, our lies will be solved. So it has to be real. If you really didn't have any option to tell the truth, uh, and you lied, please be temporary, because lies perpetuating forward is going to be problems. There are always going to be problems. Um, I'm not just saying that for the sake of blind ideological fanaticism or virtue signaling, but because that is the responsible state of problem solve. That is the state of problem solve. Okay. So if there are still lies being perpetuated, that is a problem. I wish I will always be like that 100%. The true solving of problems require truthful assessment. So I want to be attractive, right? I want to be an attractive person. It's not that I don't care. Yeah, I know I said that I don't really care about money, in the sense that what if I think I have done what is contributive, I don't need to make the contribution being acknowledged by everybody, so that it would materialize money on top of that. I don't really have to do that. I just, if I already contribute, I think, yo, this is a contribution. I don't really like felt like a lot of urges to make it money, right? To make it bank, because that requires a lot of people's acknowledgement. And I think, yo, if you are not acknowledging me, just like there's no, why would I want you to acknowledge me, when the truth is, like, I actually have solved some parts of the problem, and nothing's going to change that. That is historical. The same thing with you too. Why would you need my acknowledgement? And I guess maybe that's the problem too. Maybe that sometimes that is a good idea to be, that is to be social. I don't, and that could help people's life, that could give people income, save people lives eventually. Let's get into it at a different time. Let's finish this one, otherwise it wouldn't be finished. The true solving of problems require truthful assessment, and from that angle I answered that ultimately the prioritization of justice is in a line with the prioritization of the truth. So what this is addressing is that when you're being nice, right, you're not attractive, okay? But with logic, I'm imposing this to imposed attractiveness. Uh, Please don't take it that way, but just save it in your heart. This knowledge, right? Eventually, those justice that appears to be icky to your opposite gender, it's going when it materializes, it's going to be attractive eventually. So always choose justice. Always don't lie. Always tell the truth, and align the truth with justice together. Eventually it's going to bear fruit. Maybe not now. Now maybe you appear to be not really feisty, not really territorial, not really could appear to have been able to secure a territory or provide property or provide value because of your because of your betaness. But as long as it's truthful and just, it is going to solve problem. Eventually it's going to contribute to the solving of problems in the future, and that's going to be attractive. That is going to be an asset that you can hold on to, and then you can get your girlfriend or boyfriend. Why does that matter? I guess I was smarter. Now I don't. In the past I kind of value it highly. I should regain, like, I lost that. If I were to make money, maybe not. If I were to make money, I watch these news channels for financial and talks. Not that I do that often. I should do that more often. Until now, I didn't do that. I didn't do that often. You know why? You know why? Because I think a lot of times when I watch it, I make a wrong conclusion, and if I don't know how to correct it, and that's not comfortable. I could become a wrongful person, right? Some, I don't know. I should figure out how to correct myself after getting all of this information. Because sometimes maybe my conclusion is not wrong, but my ego is wrong. The way I place my ego somehow is affected. Something about it, something with this interaction between me and this news channel is somehow I have to correct my ego. Like after a while. Okay, next with RT, they encourage the use of Bitcoin, smart, and but be careful, okay, dangerous, but pretty smart, and they trash the fiat money for a good reason. We're talking about fiat money. We're talking about fiat. Yes, kind of they dilute. I think they have to dilute the money, right? If there are no cryptocurrency, let's live in the world a dimension where there are no cryptocurrency. Uh, so people are going to save money, right? They are going to be profitable. Everyone is working in order to make profit, and they're going to save their money. So the economy is going to run out of cash or liquidity. So that is what, as we have been exposed before, that is a limitation to freedom. That is not freedom. You cannot do a lot of things. So the economy wants to be able to do a lot of things. We want to be able to synchronize people and let people believe in each other and let people trust each other again so that they could trade, they could make, they could perform commerce. So they need more money. But then the, let's say we create money and somehow we inject that into the economy, then people are trying to make profit again. And what do we have now? Less, even another need for more money. Okay, now that is a problem, guys, because there are some things that you gotta pay attention to and get into the economics of that. All right, that is there. There's a special discipline that study specifically learn about these stuffs. So I always say that money represent that the holder has helped and hasn't been helped back, or it should mean that, and that is also the problem. Probably I don't have the enough economic basic in order to watch this and make always make the right conclusion. So I always say that money represent the holder has helped and hasn't been helped back, or it should mean that. In this time of difficulty, some governments decided to take expansive policies, handing stimulus or giving out cash to people. From a point of view, the policy is a relief for a lot of worries. However, it is at the cost of the value of money. The same way, if gold kept on being discovered or even created in a lab, then people would have wanted more of it in exchange for the same amounts of products or services they provide. Bitcoin, however, from what I concluded watching the Kaiser report, is not as liable to the generation of value as the fiat money. I don't well, yes, because of the way it's mined, yes. The maintenance of it, the server maintenance is another thing as well. And I think that if mistakes of policy, the change of policy in terms of that could change huge, could make a huge change of it. But Bitcoin is like there are a lot of measures to safeguard its value already until now. But that is not the same with all kinds of crypto. Okay, we're talking specifically Bitcoin in this one. And also this volatility of, I think what I wanted to say, this trackability. How trackable are your money? So there's a specific purpose in the printing of money, in the printing of paper money, that it has a serial number, right? I think we should have that electronically. Like with Bitcoin, they do have that. So the trackability is like to the roof compared to even fiat money. But Even worse is the electronic fiat money. Like, I don't think they have that serial number. And it's going to be useful for a lot of purposes. These serial numbers, especially you want to combine that with like with I don't want to talk about it right now. If you got to combine it with that, and you can do that, you can do that, and you can track that and make a decision for this and that, for this and that. Yeah, guys, this is a problem, and still people are not doing something about it, it seems. What did I say? What did I say? What have I said? What have I said? Okay. Bitcoin, however, I don't want to give false information as to why. There are people out there who have dwelled more into this deeper than I, but Bitcoin has increasingly become more interesting as an alternative currency as opposed to gold. Then that's the thing again. If you want to improve gold, right, as an investment, the serial, you got to record the serial number, guys. Record and digitize the serial number. But also, what the liability of that is, of course, it's going to be prone to hacking. So still the physical gold, you got to have its own serial number that is only physical. They don't digitize it, but it should also have a digitized version of it that is different. And another measure as well, I don't know what it is, there's another measure as well. And then the generation of currencies that has not been tied to solutions, even though they ended up practically tied to solution. And what good would that do? Yeah, the difference between digitized serial number and the physical serial number. What good would that do? I think it would do something, but let's not get into it too much. Like we should. I mean, I hope I get my point across already. That you would expose yourself to that liability. Bitcoin itself is mine. Why it become money is just out of thin air. Yeah, I think that's the problem as well with even fiat money as well, because yes, fiat money all this time has been used to pay for help for problem solving, like cryptocurrency is used for investment. So, is the investment really represent problem solving? The value of the investment represented problem solving? It's a lot more indirect compared to fiat, and that is, I think, that is very important. Okay, you want the flow of currency always represent problem solving. That is my take, and I feel so strongly about that. It that affects the value of money, that affects the value of the currency, and you would want, that is the line where you want your currency value to be in. It should represent help. It should represent the value of your money should represent so problem solving history. It it when you look at $100, you would, or what, 100 yen, it should talk, it came from the solving 100 worth of problem, you know. That would be the focus you can hold on to. That would make sense the economy for a lot of people. That would make the economy common sense, and that's what you want. That is where you want it to be. And the less you like, I mean, if you give your money to your own child, I guess that is tolerable. But the derivatives of that, I don't think that's healthy. And then there is practically tied to solutions in day-to-day activities of the economy for most people. So from there's a room for improvement. And there is a room for improvement for the way we generate currency. Okay, wait. I haven't talked about, but when you print fiat as well, to where do you give the first one? The first printed fiat, who gets it? Like the borrowers of money, Like ultimately, right, the money are going to be returned, right? You're going to return the money with interest, okay? There's got to be people that genuinely receive money as asset that is not a liability to be returned, right? I think so, right? Who are these people and do they deserve that? So if you want to improve money, if you want to improve currency, you got to always tie it with the solving problems, right? That's what you want to be able to hold on to. So give it to the doctors, give it to the heroes, give it to the people who have helped and hasn't been helped back. That's money, and you give it to them, and that would just even it out. You don't have to worry about. And I think doctors and teachers should be very rich, right? It should, in the past, in the time of Confucius, I think, like the teachers are like, wow, teachers are like second parent. So why are we having like billionaires as second parent, right? We admire billionaires so much. We should make the teachers, the doctors, compete with that. That's just what I think. Okay, like these people, like the veterans for some countries, right? The nurses and a lot of other. Again, check your GDP. Where does that came from? And for years and years, who contributes long term? Who got the your own version of the Nobel Prize, right? And think about that, guys. Like, of course, the researchers, guys. Yeah, the researchers. We almost forgot the researchers. There are a lot of people, I guess, that I could not think of, couldn't make. So these people should be, yeah. I don't think we should hide it anymore. We print money, okay, but let's give the printed money to gratitude. There is a room for improvement for the way we generate currency. Conservatively, the basic proper creation of money is when individuals issued promissory notes for their solver of problems. The notes act as guarantee warrant to whoever later returned the note that he or she would be provided with such and such amounts of goods and or services. So I would start from there that money should be able to complete a circle and be expired. All right. So there's this thoughts as well, like if it has completed a circle, just write down your name and then run it again, because this every time it transfer to another person, the person put their name in, put their name in. After it completed a circle, uh, ru- cross your first name and write down the second one in the bottom order, and then after that this will continue on. You know what I mean? It would have more credibility over time. The more people like, oh wow, this one is a good currency, this one. You can go that direction as well, but I think there's merit in being able to cross this money. Like, if you can make a reputation that, oh, this money has completed the circle, and then there's a star, ding, oh, achievement, completing a circle. I think that's not bad too. I think that's credibility too. And then I think there's like a concept that probably in parallel with the year of Jubilee that the Bible talk about. Props to Jewish people, amazing people, like the blessing to the world in terms of God's message, right? They carry this heavy, heavy universal truth, the spirit of truth. They carry it. Oh, how great are these people! But as with all human beings, they are human beings as well. So a lot of angle that we can look at them. We can look at them as villains. We can look at them as um, as a carrier of a culture of that had been entrusted with the Bible. Like some people don't even care about the Bible. Okay, I'm not trying to impose my belief on you. This, but personally, as a Christian, I'm like the ancestor of the Jews, you know, and the legacy that they have brought down. Like, would I be perpetuating those legacies? No, like these Jewish people are the ones who who really like devoted themselves to it and like identify themselves to it. So they kind of carry that. So I kind of want to be able to be a grateful person to be able to at least be able to not cause injustice towards that. That's so huge. And I think, and continuing on, I'm not a revolution. Yeah, so in parallel with the year of the Jubilee, if you completed the circle of money, uh, but again, let's not, when we're talking about Palestine, I think you should not kill children, all right? Like, you should not kill children, whatever that is insane. Like, some people are so racist discussing apartheid people, Nazis people, and also in the Muslim people as well. There are people who are so racist as well. Ugh, like, I don't know, if you go there, if you are talking about Middle East conflicts, you don't there are a lot of, oof, just even in talking about that, you could be making a very bad judgment, and that could transpire. I don't know, guys, let's not go there. That is insane what happened there. Let's dedicate a specific um, context so that we can always audit ourselves, when talking about that. And goal is like that, fear is like there's room for improvement. And then I'm not a revolution type of guy. I'm one at there. It's so long, I'm talking so long. Spending, okay, let's uh all right, guys, so thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.